Welcome back to Water Hose Drinkers. Today is September 5th,
Fifth. Fifth.
approximately 6:30 p.m. here in the state of Georgia, and the state of Florida as
Yeah,
well.
believe it or
Well,
not, same state of Florida.
well, where you're at in the state of Florida, I guess.
I'm in Central Florida, so I follow the Eastern time zone. The only time you switch is when you're going to like Pensacola. So there's only a
Yeah,
little section of Florida that's in that central time zone. Oh, and I'm Cole, by the way. Yeah, welcome back. Gritty and tough water hose drinkers episode coming at you. Gritty and tough. Let's
37.
37.
37. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, kind of all the normal stuff. Give a rundown before we get going. Chicken Coop, Cooper Roberts is back. He's got a little call in. We'll be calling him here shortly. Talk a little college football, talk a little pros, hypotheticals, legal wagers for Cole, and Mount Rushmore. So
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good episode. So y'all just stay tuned in. The boys are back. We're ready to get cooking, ready to get going, and NFL's here, dude. I'm excited.
I know, dude. NFL starts in about 2 hours
We're
from while we're
full.
recording this. So
We're in full swing of football season, baby, and I cannot be more excited
yeah.
and happy.
So, if you're listening to this probably after this game it gets going or gets over with. So we'll get into who we think is going to win on Thursday Night Football. So,
We'll touch on it. Yes, sir.
anyways, song of the week this week for me, I've got "Beer for Breakfast" by Zach Top, just released this past Friday. So, released August 30th, I believe, was the date. So, absolute killer of a song. We've talked a little bit about Zach Top before in the past. Massive Zach Top fan. Good friends with Cole Goodwin, actually. So, if you're interested in a little bit of music, Cole Goodwin has been on the podcast before. So, go look
Great
up.
name. Love a
Yeah,
good, love a good guy. Love a good country guy with the name Cole. You
gotta
know.
love it, dude. And Cole's got a great voice too, man. I
Oh,
mean, I've just kind of like seen him just throughout the years, just playing in Statesboro, him going to Georgia Southern. We lived in the same neighborhood too. So that also kind of helped. But yeah, so shout out Cole Goodwin and
oh
shout
yeah,
out
he's
Top.
awesome. Yeah, yeah. No, that sound beer for breakfast, right? That's what it was. Beer for
Yeah, beer for
breakfast.
breakfast.
Sounds like my couple years in Tallahassee on a game day. Had
It
to.
sounded like our last Saturday.
It
So
does. It did. Sounded like our last Saturday.
yeah.
Mine is actually an old school. It's the it's the Are you ready for some football by Hank Williams? You know the old school intro.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
gonna rock with the Are you ready for some football? That's how I feel, man. We're about to get
Dude, I love that. I
oh yeah.
love that because I think like that Hank version of that song was just like growing up, like hearing that, like, dude,
I
that
mean,
kind of brings me back to the childhood a little bit.
all respect to Carrie Underwood and her legs that have insurance on them. Did you know that she took insurance out on her legs? That's how
As she should, man.
she should. All due respect. If we're talking music, like the switch up, I miss the Big and Rich. We're coming,
Ooh,
yeah, we're coming to your city for. I mean, the new stuff. I mean, kind of, it's just the way it is now, man.
dude.
People be updating stuff, but
I,
those are
I, I
the
tell
last.
you what, come Sunday night, all I'm going to be thinking about is seeing Carrie Underwood on that TV, and I've been waiting all day for Sunday night.
Yeah, yeah. I have Sundays off for football
Let's
for
go.
work, dude. Yeah, dude, this is going to be a good football. Well, I speak too soon. It's a football season, all right.
Yeah, I do. I'm
That's more.
so happy it's back.
I
Like,
was.
yeah, I know we've had 2 weeks of week zero and week one of college football, but now the NFL is back. I know you
Yeah.
had some pain and misery, but you still got to love college football and NFL both being back. Starting today, actually, it's Thursday, September 5th. We've got 5 straight days of football.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. And then just throw in my little brother's high school football game that I'm going to on Friday night, dude. Yeah, dude. I'm footballed out this year, dude. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
you got to love that. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
let's
Let's get after it.
let's call the chicken coop.
Oh man, I haven't heard the Cubes voice in a while, man. I'm excited. Excited. Let's see.
Can you
We
hear
are
us?
good.
Yo,
I can hear him. Yeah, yeah,
All
I
right,
can hear
all
him.
right, sweet. We're good. Cole can hear you on the Zoom. So what's up, Coop?
what's going on?
How you doing?
Hanging in there, man. Just excited for kicking off NFL tonight.
I know,
Oh,
I know. So we'll jump into that in a second because I'm going to ask you who you got tonight for the Chiefs and Ravens game. But first question I got for you, Bama, you obviously played Western Kentucky. It was absolute bloodbath for Bama. TJ Finley's third time playing Alabama in his career at three different schools, which is pretty crazy.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
so you got anything maybe that I guess Bama really couldn't have, they didn't play bad at all, but is there some things maybe that stand out to you about the Bama game? Maybe something that they need to improve on come conference play?
Probably I'd have to go off what our defense coordinator, Cade Womack, said. Like our defense looked good. We had two good takeaways early, but I feel like we should have capitalized more on the defensive takeaways. Like that first pick probably could have been ran back for 6 if he would have really, stayed in bounds. And but I think the weakest link of our whole team is going to be the secondary, which they showed out. So, I'm just like I said, defense is what is going to help us, win championships. So it's just those defensive takeaways that need to be capitalized on more. But other than that, it's kind of hard to tell when it's we're running up the score on like that. But it was very promising. I like what I saw. We could score quick. We distributed the ball well. Everyone got to touch the ball. Ryan Williams really impressed me. He won SEC Freshman of the Week.
What position does he play?
Wide receiver.
Yeah, that's what I
He had
thought.
2 catches for like 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's crazy. But
you see how positive he sounds as a Bama fan. I long for that positivity. Did they cover the spread? I was confused. I didn't get to be able to catch it.
Yeah, it was like 31.5, and we doubled it.
yeah, it was 30 something points, and they won by like 65. So,
Oof.
yeah. But I've seen a lot on social media. People are just kind of ripping Jalen Milroe, which I didn't really understand, like saying he's a glorified running back.
Well, it's just because, in the opening drive with them, like one of our first touchdowns was a design QB run, which last year in Tommy Reese's offense, that wasn't really. We didn't have too much of those glorified runs, but Kalen DeBoer, he really utilizes the quarterback. So I can see where people say that, but hell, if you got it, why not use it? Shit.
Yeah, personally, I'm a big Jalen Milroe fan.
If y'all are giving away quarterbacks, if the fan base isn't happy with Jalen Milroe, I'll be happy to take him. So, I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna sit here and complain, Bama fans. I know Chicken Coop's not, but we're gonna sit here and complain talking about quarterback play. I don't want to hear it. There, I said
I don't necessarily. From what I saw,
not complaining, and I'll be the first one to say at the beginning of last year when they declared him starter, I was a little bit of a hater, and he grew on me very quick. Just because I was a hater because I didn't know if he could throw the ball or not, which he proved he could later in the season, not at the beginning. So, like I said, and I'm glad Kalen DeBoer, was the replacement for Saban because you saw what he did with Penix. He develops QB. So I'm really excited to see how Jalen progresses throughout the year.
DeBoer is a winner too, man. He's won everywhere he's gone. But
exactly. So usually when coaches take over programs, they're usually in a dumpster fire or what. But he's taken over a pretty well-oiled machine, so we'll have to see what he does with it.
Go ahead, Cole.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give it some time before I talk about DeBoer and how well he's doing. It was game 1 against Western Kentucky.
I agree.
Yeah, so
but dude, there's no way he'll ever be able to fill Saban's shoes. Everybody knows. It's not going to happen.
I'm going to wait.
Close to that, filling those shoes is Kirby. If we ever, but he's never come to the Bama. But that's like I said, I agree. I don't think there's anybody who can fill those shoes. So
I'm going to wait until they get into conference play and really see. I want to really see them get tested because Saban knew how to rally the troops and stuff like that. So we'll see. And this is you say he's a winner everywhere. I looked at his track record, man. You can be a winner all over the Pacific Northwest, but when you come down to the Southeast, it's a completely different game of football. It's a completely different, realm of
Yeah.
football. I mean, his quarterback last year was from the Tampa area. So again, I'm just gonna pump the brakes because you got to give it time.
Especially it is Alabama, man. You got a target on your back, no matter who the coach
resources.
is, no matter who the quarterback is. You're Alabama. You're going to have a target on your back every single snap.
Right, and he's going to get that good test. First game the SEC plays. We got the Dogs coming into town, so it's going to be a good one.
Dogs in Tuscaloosa.
But yeah, I'm going to know this right now. I don't care what the spread is. I'm taking Georgia to dummy Bama at Bama. Kirby is going to run up the score for that one.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be running up the score, but I mean, I think the Dogs win, but that's just my opinion. But Coop, how do the tight ends look?
Say that again. Sorry, you're breaking up.
No, you're good. How did the tight ends look? The only reason I asked that is just because Brian Ellis is now the tight ends coach at Alabama.
We got that CJ Dupree. He transferred in last year from Maryland. He's always been pretty good, so he plays a key role. I mean, they all look good. I mean, hell, dude. I mean, we were scoring like every drive, so I mean, everything looked good. But it's kind of like you don't really want to bite too much of the cake off with that because we were playing Western Kentucky. So it's like you got to take it with a grain of salt.
And WKU is a good football team, man. I mean, of course, no Malachi Corley for them this year. That's a big, big loss. But I mean, a shutout's a shutout, no matter who you play, honestly.
Right, and usually Western Kentucky has a good ball club, but when we shut them out like that, I'm like, all right, are they down this year? Or are we actually better than what we think we are? So it's hard to tell.
I think Western Kentucky lost quite a bit of talent from last year. So,
but they did well in the portal, But like what, I think we said it on Twitter or something about Southern game, and we were talking about just week one. You still got to kind of pump the brakes a little bit because you just finished week one, man. You can't base your season on how your season's going to go just off of one football game.
You can off of two, though.
I'm excited for this season is Kendrick Law.
Yeah, you can.
He's kind of like our diva.
You can base it off of two when you lose to Georgia Tech and Boston College back-to-back games. So
that might be a little different story.
Yeah. Give it to me, Coop. I know you've been waiting. Give it to me.
So, Coop, before we I want to ask you about your little hypotheticals here, but I kind of want to hear your rundown about the Georgia Southern game. You got anything that stands out to you?
Man.
I know generally.
Spread, so I'm not too mad about that. But when it was late in the second half, and we were down by one possession, I said to the guys I was watching it with, I was like, if we get this one stop, all we need is a stop, and then just say we can score more points than y'all can.
Yeah.
Once we got the one stop. And we just,
I know what you're talking about because we get the stop, and then there was a play, Cole, Coop, if you remember, that O.J. Arnold, number 22, he comes out the backfield, runs in the flats. JC hits him right in the hands, and he drops the ball. And it would have been an easy first down on the other side of the field. I feel like if we get that play, like you said, get another stop, could be the difference with the ball game. And then also you get a bullshit fumble that didn't even get called a fumble.
Yeah, that was bad. That was very bad.
But
I want to be positive because there's a lot of positives to take away from that game. One, as in we didn't throw a single pick, so we didn't turn the ball over in that aspect, which was amazing to me because the past few years all we've been watching every game was pick after pick after pick. So that was one thing I was happy to watch.
But dude, we're really going to kind of give in our Georgia Southern dive here at the end of the episode, but I just kind of wanted to hear your opinion.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, there's a lot of positives to take away from it. I think we lost to a really good team who could potentially run the Mountain West and maybe, make the playoff or be in the playoff contention if they, really take control of their schedule. So at the end of the season, if they are in the playoff conversation and we, had a damn good chance to beat them, I think we're going in the right direction.
Well, you got to think about it too, man. We were down 28-9 right before halftime or at halftime, and Southern ended up leading going into the fourth quarter.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of positives to take away from that game, and a lot of good stuff we could build off of. So, yes, I was disappointed that we lost, but on the other hand, I'm really excited for the rest of the season to see, how much better we can get, because that was a great game to watch.
Yeah.
And
Of course,
like I said,
we're
not turning the ball over like we used to be, so that's just
Yeah.
another positive. I mean, I hate turning the ball over like that.
Of course, we talked about, OJ dropping the pass, fumble that should have been a fumble, or they didn't call a fumble. Boise ended up scoring on. But, those are just two plays. Does one or two plays really affect the ball game that much? Not really. I think what really just kind of set us back was just, man, a bad first quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible first quarter.
And I think, if you come out hot, smack Nevada right in the mouth, man, set the tone early, you're going to win on Saturday.
You're also not going to be going up against a first round draft.
First round draft pick.
Yeah, potential Heisman if he and if he was at Bama, Florida State, any of the bigger schools, and does what he does, that's a grown man.
He'd be leading the Heisman race right now.
Oh, for sure,
SEC.
for sure. He was. We said it. Matt Sprouse was with us on the sideline. We were doing like our pregame walk, and we look and we're like, that's a grown man that's about to run the football. Grown man. But
I looked at you, Cole, or Matt, and I can't remember who it was, but I was like, dude, it's about to be a long day.
It was both of us. Yeah,
it was.
And I tried to give some glimmer of hope, and I was like, nah, it ain't gonna be a long day. When he broke that 70-yarder, I was like, ooh. But the boys,
which should have been a fumble, which should have been a touchback too. Should have been.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking. That one's the egregious one was.
I'm hoping the defense tightens up, and I know this is week one. We got a lot of stuff to work out. And with a guy like that you're playing, you got to, be hitting on all cylinders. So I hope this was just a, kind of eye opener for us, and our defense isn't going to be
there wasn't a lot of penalties. They had more. I think we had 3, maybe 4 penalties against us. So, you need to clean that up. But every mistake that I saw are fixable mistakes. There's nothing to me that's like, man, dude, there's our season. We're screwed. Everything to me is just like, man, we can fix that. If we fix that going ahead, we're going to be successful.
Well, we got some stops when we needed them too, so that's also very promising. So it's not like our defense was complete, madness.
Yeah. But Coop, you got any hypotheticals for us this week?
Boy, do I.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to be kind of biased on these hypotheticals this week just because I'm so freaking excited for the full swing of football being back.
Let's see it.
First one, we're taking the Dirty Birds -3 Sunday against the Steelers.
Ooh. In Atlanta.
Russ, he's got a tight calf. He hadn't been practicing a lot this week. He's their starter. We're about to come out and set a statement.
Are you not sussy for Russie?
Yeah, I'm all behind the chains.
Kurt Thuggins, baby.
Yeah, so that's my first one. The next one, I'm going to take the over in the Southern game. So, like I said, both these hypotheticals are personal. Biased, but we're taking the over.
What is that number at? I believe
it's at 59.
59. Hold up. I've got a text message here from the one and only Pepe himself. 57.
57.
57.
I would like to add that the chicken coop is 2-2 from last week. Hypothetically, 2-2 from last week.
Yeah.
And then I have one more.
Okay.
And I don't know how y'all feel about this. I wanted to take Nebraska -7 since it's at home.
Mm-hmm.
And Colorado's defense is dog shit. But I feel like it'll be safer taking the over. So I'm going to take another over Nebraska, Colorado.
Ooh, I like that.
That was at 56.
Cole, you want to look that up?
Hypothetically, what the Nebraska line is, you said, for the over?
Colorado, Nebraska over. What's that at?
Well, here in the great state of Florida, let me just pull up my handy-dandy Hard Rock app, and not sponsored, by the way. And let's see. Nebraska.
Wish we would be. That'd be insane.
That would be awesome. Let me work on the tribe for that one. Just give me a second. I have down here, I don't know, it could always be different hypothetical situations. I have 57.5 for that game.
Okay. Yeah, I still like that too, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Coop, like we said, you got 3 good picks this week. Birds -3 against the Steelers. Georgia Southern Nevada over 57. Nebraska Colorado over 57.5. So you 2-2 last week, man. Looking to go 5-2.
Yep, that's the goal. That's the goal. One of the that I'm really ashamed about that Jackson State bet last week. I was all off some information I was looking at online, which turned out to be complete horseshit because Jackson State's
Yeah.
offense was complete garbage.
Yeah, dude. I had Jacksonville State as well.
I
So
tailed you guys before I left the state of Florida. I threw that in a parlay, and that
dude.
was smelly.
That was the only one I lost last week too. So
Yeah,
that one made me lose the teaser. That was the only leg I lost my teaser last week.
damn.
yeah, dude. Well, I don't hate those picks. Now that I was gonna take, because I think Mike Tomlin somehow, some way, always goes 500 or above 500, and I'm gonna stick with he's never done that. And he's gonna have to upset some people. Prior to the calf tightness or whatever it was with Russell, I was gonna be like, Steelers money line sounds pretty good, but now I ain't gonna touch it. I ain't gonna touch it because Birds open it up at home. So I think that's a great one, and I love from what I saw last week. I love Southern's over.
I love both the overs, man.
I do too. Little preview.
Everybody almost slung it last week, and Colorado's defense was complete shit. So I love the over in this game.
There's an account on Twitter, Karen, mother of two. Karen, mother of two. I interact with them at that Karen, mother of two. Hypothetically, this Karen, mother of two, went to FSU and graduated a couple of years ago, or last year or something. Okay, I'm not gonna expand the lore. I'll send it to you later, Josh. But at Karen, mother of two, he is from Omaha, Nebraska. We interact on Twitter and stuff. Whoa, that was a big old lightning bolt. Nebraska fan. Ooh, man, it's getting spicy down here in Florida. Nebraska fan, and I have come out and said that Nebraska steamrolls Colorado for my mother of two, Karen. So
I hope so, dude. I'd love Nebraska to win. But Coop, you got anything else to say to the people?
Man, obviously just keep drinking that hose water, and I am going to take a little two-legged hypothetical tonight that Pacheco and King Henry get into the end zone.
Ooh.
Okay.
King Henry is a
Pacheco in the end zone, partially because they're my fantasy, and I just think that King Henry's definitely getting in his Ravens debut, and Pacheco.
Yeah.
So freaking hard.
Now it is
less than one out from like the 20 in.
Do you hypothetically parlay that, or
yes, I hypothetically parlayed both those together because the King Henry odds were hypothetically shit. They had to put it with somebody else I thought would get it.
Gotcha. Well,
fun fact about King Henry: he's being coached by a known terrorist to Tallahassee.
Yeah, Willie Taggart.
He's that guy.
Well, Coop, I appreciate it as always, man. Glad to have you back, and keep Savannah safe for us, and keep on running the Gamblers Anonymous down there. I know you will.
Oh yeah, always love it. I'll let y'all boys next week.
All right, Coop. Hope to see you soon in Statesboro, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'll see y'all.
See you.
Oh yeah. Oh,
that was the Chicken Coop.
I love it. I miss that guy, man. He's the.
I've missed Coop. I have missed Cooper.
I do apologize. I am out on my porch right now, so if you see little flashes and thunder, which I'm sure you can hear, it's the best place for me to do my stuff. So I do apologize. We're working on setting me up with a camera and a microphone, and that's coming. But yeah, do apologize for the random flashes and the loud bangs. But
so to give a rundown, we already said Cooper went 2-2 last week.
Yes.
Pepe went 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
Alec went 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
You went 1-4, and I went 2-1. So
I will say this: it's so funny. I went 1-4, but I think I was up on the week. Funny enough, it was the what was it? The Georgia Southern covering. I had me up because that was my biggest bet of the week. So I ended up being up on the week. So funny.
Gotta
fun.
love it.
Oh, for sure.
So
For sure.
before we go and give our hypothetical for me wagers,
Yeah.
Alec has sent us a pick, so Alec is contributing. Hopefully, we'll see Al soon. He has got Iowa -2.5 versus Iowa State. He has got Oregon -19 versus Boise State, which I believe now might be 21 or 20.
I'm looking it up for you.
And then he's got nuclear whale play, Texas -7.5 at Michigan in the big house.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one.
So our good friend Pepe's weekly 4-pack straight off the Zero Turn Toro. So he gave us 4 picks this week straight off the lawnmower, coming in from Las Vegas, Nevada. He has got SMU -10.5. And they are playing SMU -10.5 versus BYU. And then he's got, sorry, y'all, I'm trying to write this down. SMU -10.5 versus BYU. He has got fading Alec again on the nuclear whale play.
Oh, he's taking Michigan?
He's got Michigan
Ugh.
+7.5 versus Texas.
That game is hard to read for me, man.
So if you remember last week, Alex nuclear whale play was Texas A&M, and Pepe had Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
I love how they're going against each other. That's so funny.
Pepe also has Illinois. Who does Illinois play? The Fighting Illini.
I will look that up right now.
I've got it. I've got it right here. I'm just trying to find it. Illinois. Kansas. Okay.
+5 at home. Wow. Wow.
Pepe has it at +6 in Vegas.
I got it +5 down here, unfortunately.
So, and then Pepe also has a familiar wager, like we just heard from Coop, over 57, Georgia Southern Nevada.
Okay. Okay. I think that
So Pepe's got SMU -10.5 versus BYU, Michigan +7.5 versus Texas, Illinois +6 versus Kansas, and Georgia Southern Nevada over 57.
yeah, I didn't come prepared for any play, so I'm gonna tweet mine out and I'll give it to you later.
Just text them to me after the episode, and then I'll tweet it out so everybody can see it there.
For sure. And I also will probably start tweeting out any additions that I make, and I'll make sure I keep track of my record. And
If you want to, if you got any additions, just log on to our Twitter account and just post it there, so you're not posting it on your personal.
Oh, okay, yeah, that works too. Just like a live ad. I'll do a Cole live ad or something. Because I end up usually, you can clearly see I've put the most in. With the 1-4 record, I was just channeling minor null. And I tend to find something that I like when for me being in a legal state,
Yeah,
there's always something. So
things change, lines change too. So come game time, I mean, line might be at 7 all week, and then it might be at 7.5 at game time. You know what I mean?
I think I think hypothetically we put in a hypothetical wager when we were walking into Paulson, hypothetically at least.
Yes.
That was
I
hypothetically
mentally locked it in. So
that was hypothetically electric, by the way, too.
so I've got 4 bets actually.
I'm ready to hear them.
Hypotheticals. I'm going to start off with a little bit of NFL. Tonight, we've got the Chiefs -3 versus the Ravens. You're on mute, by the way. Chiefs -3 versus the Ravens. I've got Texas State. It's even spread right now against UTSA, but I've got Texas State at home -115 to win.
In the Buc-ee's Bowl?
In the Buc-ee's Bowl. In the Buc-ee's Bowl. Hey, group of 5 guys will be in San Marcos. They will be out there on Friday. So everybody, please, great friends of us, great friends of the podcast, please go tune into some stuff. They're going to do a live show. I think they're floating down the river Friday night. So if you're somehow listening to this, I doubt it. People in San Marcos are listening to this podcast. But if you're somehow going to be in San Marcos, Texas this weekend, go to the Texas State UTSA game. Go find the group of 5 guys. Do us a favor. So
yes, do us a favor, to them a favor. The group of 5 guys are awesome. They do a great job covering it. I'm excited to see their live show.
So this pick comes my third pick comes as no surprise to anybody. The line started off at 3. It is now a pick 'em. Georgia Southern pick 'em against Nevada. I mean, curious.
You want to talk about playing 2 Mountain West schools back to back, man. You did it in the right order. You did it in the perfect order because you got a little bit of a taste of the juggernaut that is Boise State. Yeah. And now you're gonna go show Nevada at Nevada. You're gonna go show why Southern is the team to mess with in the Fun Belt, man. I was very happy with the way that I was happy with the quarterback play too, but we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about it. So, and last thing I've got teaser Georgia Southern plus 6.5 and over 52.5 in that game.
Love it. I actually love that teaser a lot because I know that the defense is going to wake up and they're gonna make some adjustments. Mm-hmm. And we already just showed, last week they showed they can score points. So it's great.
We'll hold off on that. We'll talk.
I know, but I'm talking about.
I will give a little preview in a minute here.
Just from the line standpoint, that's where my head's coming.
Yeah. So Cole's going to give out his legal wagers via Twitter. So stay tuned for that.
I got to do a little research tomorrow.
So I have got a couple things. I want to give a little brief overview on the Georgia Clemson game. I just want to talk about, I think Cade Klubnik is absolute donkey cheeks. He's terrible. And Dylan Hurtado, I hope you watch this because he's terrible, dude. I think this year, I think I said it before the season started, man. I think Clemson takes a step down this year. I really do. Of course, time will tell. It is just 1 week. They did hold Georgia. I think it was like 6-3 in the first half, something like that. Man, Clemson just had no offense production. So, second half comes around. Georgia being the number 1 team in the country, man, with as much depth and talent they have on their roster, you let their offense Georgia's offense stay on the field for the majority of that ball game, they're going to exploit you, man. If you get no offense production, they're going to exploit you. And that's just the reality of it. And, really, that's not just Georgia. That's just any good football team, college or pros. That's just the way it is. If you've got no offense production, man, you're going to get exploited on defense because, boys are going to be tired out there, man. And that's what Clemson's defense was. So that's kind of all I got.
You summed it up perfectly, And I mean,
Cash Jones is still a monster. Love Cash. So
you summed it up perfectly. The best way I can sum up Clemson, Georgia is the Florida State walk-ons and fourth stringers put up the same amount of points as Cade Klubnik and the starters for Clemson. That's just, that's not a fact. And what does Dabo do from here? Dabo has already said he's not going to do his live shows anymore. Dabo's refusal to use the transfer portal. And we're now, I believe, in year 4 of the transfer portal in college football. And you're seeing so many different methods that work. And then you see methods that don't work. And then you're seeing methods that have worked that are starting not to work. So it's, it's always
you got to change. You got to change with the times, man.
Do you know who Clemson has this week?
App State. So
yeah.
In Clemson, I think about a 17-point spread, man.
And
I hope Clemson covers the spread, dude, because it is going to pain me to see App State win a Power 5 game this year. It really is. Because I'm trying to say this in a nice way. Dude, screw App State. I don't care. I hope Clemson comes out just hot and smacks App State right in the mouth and drops 75 on them, dude.
Yes,
they do. But last thing I got for Clemson is, dude, ACC's wide open. Right now, after week 1, way too early to tell. But right now, just based on 1 week, it's Miami's to lose. but
I'm going to
it's
say
it's
this
wide
as
open.
nicely as I can. Screw Miami.
It's wide open. The ACC is so freaking wide open this year. But
Yeah.
that's kind of what I like about it, dude. It's kind of like what
Yeah.
I like about the Sun Belt, dude. Is just as a general football fan, if you take your bias out of it, you like just competition. You like things being wide open. So you don't have Clemson, Florida State like you have seen in the past. You know what I mean? I know you being an FSU fan, it's hard, but
Very.
but but you still gotta love the conferences just being wide open. You don't know
Yeah.
who's going to win, and I like that.
Do you remember it was the SEC had just expanded? Do you remember who won the East when the SEC expanded? It was, I believe, 2014 was the first year for the new teams. It was the
Missouri,
East side.
Missouri won.
Missouri won in their very first year in the SEC. They won the
Got
East.
got got beat by Florida. I'm pretty sure in the SEC championship.
I don't know if it was Florida. Florida was down. It had to have been Bama.
Florida or Alabama. Florida or
Yeah,
Bama.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was. It had to have been Bama. No, Auburn. Well, Auburn won the SEC. It was. I want to say that might have been.
Let's look it up. Let's look it
Yeah,
up.
the 2014, or was it 2013? Was their first year. You gotta look up the first year of Missouri in the Mizzou.
It was Alabama beat Missouri 42-13 in the SEC championship.
Yeah, but that's what when we're talking about wide open conferences. That's So now anyone's obviously it's hard for me, very hard for me, especially right now with the ACC. But you know who it's not hard for? It's not hard for SMU. SMU could come in there and somehow backdoor their way into the ACC championship.
Cal.
It's funny. It's so funny. I those are the two games that in my September it goes bye week now, Memphis, Cal, SMU. So I hate that you and I are on that wavelength of talking about teams that could back their way up into the ACC championship game.
Yeah.
And they're the teams that hopefully we steamroll and get things going in the right direction. But I will say this about Miami and Florida. Miami does this every year, like they get so much momentum. They need to capitalize off this momentum. I want you to know this is taking a lot out of me not to be,
Yeah.
FSU Cole. This is Cole, college football Cole talking. Miami has to capitalize off this momentum. They can't get overhyped like they have in years past, because then that's when MTSU comes into town after you just beat A&M, who was ranked like a highly touted team. Now you just beat an in-state rival. I still think that this says more about the state of the University of Florida's program than it does about Miami being like, all this good. I want to see more from Miami, but I've seen it from Florida. And Billy Napier finally turned on the fans, and it's over now for them. So that touched on that game a little bit, but
yeah. Both. I got one last thing to say, and I want you to kind of give your FSU soapbox, I guess.
Thank you. Okay.
Florida should sign Billy Napier to a lifetime contract. That's all.
Thank you. You're the best. This is
all I got.
This is why we're the dude. So funny. He talked about then I'll slide into it. Billy said something about, I don't know if I showed you the quote or whatever, or you saw it. He was talking about,
I think you sent it to me.
Yeah. We got explosiveness on, like, we got to worry about explosive plays. We got to focus on ourselves, not about guys tweeting from their basements in rural Central Florida. I don't know if he doesn't understand this state. We don't have basements in Florida.
Joke's on you, buddy.
Foreign. And guess who? And guess who's in rural Central Florida? I'm sitting in it. It's Polk County. If you got mad about me calling you Willie Taggart, listen, Billy, I think you need a lifetime contract there. Use me. I call him Hillbilly Willie. I call him Cajun Willie. Me calling you Willie Taggart is a compliment of how great you are doing at the University of Florida. Your record speaks for itself. So that's my my little 2 cents on UF. But man, I'll keep it short and sweet. Things are bad. Things are very bad. It's an inept team. I didn't think that the snub would factor in as much, but I think it has. And at this point, you just lost to Boston College. You need to focus on rallying the troops and being competitive. You need to, I don't care if we lose every single game except 2. I want to win this state. My expectations went from be a nationally relevant, competitive team to just go win me the state of Florida. And what I want them to do, DJ's a 1-year rental, dog. He's a 1-year rental.
And he sucks.
Give me the young guys. I need leaders. I need people that are going to be here. I need people that are bought in.
I wanna see this Tate Rodemaker kid from Savannah.
He's at Southern Miss.
Oh, not Tate Rodemaker. Jesus.
Brock Glenn or Luke Kromenick. Luke Kromenick. Yeah, he went to Georgia Military Institute.
No, GMC, Georgia Military College, is in Milledgeville. He went to Benedictine Christian in Savannah.
Got you. He was
which is a military, all boys military school.
So this is how I think you look at it. DJ is you gotta listen. Mike knows more. I'm gonna put my trust in Mike. He got me an undefeated season last year. The snub definitely has played a factor in this, and you can tell by the play on the field. Defensively, don't even get me started defensively. That is a major issue. Ryan Fitzgerald and Alex Mastromanno, they care. That's our special teams. The running backs got to play better. You will see a difference after the Memphis game. Our O-line coach and our co-offensive coordinator, Alex Atkins, has been suspended, and his suspension is up after the Memphis game. It was an NIL dispute where he drove.
Oh, yeah.
So it was stupid. But you can tell his presence on the sidelines definitely makes a factor. So the O-line is almost there. The running backs got to do better on the run. And then the defense, man, just don't even get me started on the defense. We need an overhaul. I trust Mike, and it's just hard to go from here. But don't sit here and tell me that the talent on this team can't go off and win me 10 games in a row. They can. Are they going to? Probably not. But it's
100% possible. There's enough talent on Florida State's roster to win every single game the rest of the season.
Yes, and you go down looking forward, you have to beat Memphis. You have to beat Memphis. That line had just opened up at -5.5.
No shit.
Swear to God, that's the first Memphis, because Ryan Silverfield or whatever his name is, he was the old O-line coach for Norvell and took over when Norvell left. This is a big game. This is a bigger game than people realize. Memphis is going to come in there hungry. Memphis is going to come in there being like, that's our old coach. And Mike needs to rally the troops. Mike needs to breathe some confidence in this team, which he's done in the past. So you need to go out and you need to beat Memphis. It's a noon kickoff. I have seen enough, and I'm announcing it right here, right now. I will be in Doak Campbell against Cal September 20th or 21st. I will be there the whole weekend of Tallahassee. I have clawed, fought, tried everything I can do from my humble home in rural Central Florida. I'm going to be in Tallahassee. I'm going to fix things, whether it kills me. Okay. I'm at that point. I'm turning this ship around. Okay. Grab the wheel. Look at me. I'm the captain now. The vibes, the energy, I am bringing it back, because when you cut me open, right? When I die and they cut me open, what's going to pour out is garnet and gold. Okay. So I will bring the vibes. I'm coming to Tallahassee to take on California. So there.
I do have one thing. We don't have to talk anymore about Florida State if you don't want to, but I just don't like people be like, Norvell should be fired. Norvell should be fired. Dude, politely shut your mouth.
Yeah. Granted, it is hard to see your team go 12-0 and then, or 13-1. Those were the people, you can't take away the accomplishments that they accomplished last year. But there was someone on Twitter, he said it best. He said that team last year played hungry. This team plays like they've already been fed, which with NIL and stuff, they might act like they have, but you're just hurting yourself. They will correct the ship. We will right the ship. Go win me Miami and Florida. Go win me those games. I'm happy. If you somehow beat Clemson and Notre Dame, I'm really happy. And if you go 10-2 and say you win convincingly and stuff, you're back in the rankings. Yeah, granted, Boston College and Georgia Tech, those are two tough losses. But I'm ready for a youth movement. I'm ready to see if this team will respond. That is the name of the game. And I have all the confidence and trust in Mike Norvell. I still, to this day, believe that he will win me a national championship. Book it, seal it, deliver it, everything you want. I have all the faith until I can't no more. I have all the faith in Mike Norvell, and I have faith in this team to turn it around. That's how I am. I haven't cracked a smile since I left the borough, by the way. I can mask it, but I have not cracked a real smile since you and I were at Dingus.
Yay, there you go. So
that's
before we
Totals.
dive into the borough, I do want to get, NFL season is starting. Not too much to talk about NFL right now, obviously, because we're not going to talk about Taylor Swift. So,
No.
but we do want to we gave our conference predictions for college football. So we want to give a little division winners. We're going to keep the Super Bowl and stuff out of it because you just can't do that. But I can jump in. We'll go. I'm going to start in the AFC. And I got a list of it right here. So I can give mine and then you can say what you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're going to start off with the AFC East. Who's going to win the AFC East, you might ask?
I actually Jets. Yeah, I'm all in. Rodgers MVP.
Self-explanatory, man. A-Rod. If you don't know, you do now. I am unfortunately a Jets fan. It sucks. It's terrible. I'm so used to losing, but we're back.
Yeah, you're back.
A-Rod lasted about 3-4 plays last year, but we're back. My excitement for Aaron Rodgers is back.
In the future, you have the future of the NFL sitting on the pup list right now, brother. He'll get healthy, and he's going to lead you to the promised land. Yeah. And his name is Jordan Travis.
I do like Jordan Travis, and you got to love the tandem with Braylon Allen and Breece Hall at running back as well. Now, Malachi Corley, man, probably not going to get a whole lot of touches early on, but probably towards the end of the season, look for Malachi Corley.
Yeah, he's on my fantasy team. I drafted him. So
he's on drafted him in my dynasty league.
Same.
Yeah.
What division do we go to next?
AFC North. This one's kind of easy for me, man. I've got the Ravens.
Okay, and I have a different one. I went with the Bengals. I think of a Joe Burrow bounce back, and also I can't support a terrorist like Willie Taggart, who's on staff for Baltimore. So
I'm not sold on the Bengals yet, man.
That's fine. Fine.
Joey B's got to stay healthy. They got the Jamar Chase stuff going on right now. Defense is a question mark. Offensive line is a question mark.
That's fine. I still can't. That is a pure spike pick.
It's going to be the Ravens with the Bengals, though. 100%.
But I will say this: watch out for the Browns in the wild card once they get rid of Deshaun Watson and they insert in the true winner and the true future of that team, Jameis Winston. He's just waiting.
J-Boo. AFC South. Alec is going to hate this, but I've got the Texans.
Same.
Yeah.
I
saw that. That was crazy. But yeah, Alec was going to hate that because he's a massive Jags fan. So I've got the Texans. You've got the Texans as well. We'll jump into the AFC West, dude. The Chiefs.
Yeah, no, it's clearly the Chiefs. I saw someone put the Chargers to have the worst record in the NFL at plus like 3,000.
Patriots, man. Patriots.
I'm just saying. I can see it. I can see where you're coming from. I also can see that, Harbaugh doesn't have Connor Stallions anymore. So let's see.
Yeah, no kidding. NFC West, dude, no brainer. It's going to be the 49ers.
For sure. I have the 49ers.
NFC South. Dirty Birds, baby. Dirty Birds. Dirty Birds winning the NFC South this year. Kirko Thuggins coming in, winning Atlanta division title.
You know what's funny? I think I told Koo and Tyler Algier last Saturday.
And Avery Williams.
Avery Williams. I said, suck my cannon, go Bucks.
Exactly.
That was after a couple of bets.
First thing you said to him, like we all met each other or whatever, and you're like, yeah, I'm a Bucks fan, and I was like, dude, Jesus Christ.
I will say this.
You're telling 3 Falcons players, it's like, yeah, dude, like I don't root for you, like I root the Bucks, but you're cool though.
You know what I said? I will say this. When we were at the tailgate or whatever, I did end up saying, listen, man, I hope you guys have a good year. I'm I'm a fan through and through, but I was like, man, it's so cool to see that you've made it to that next level. I'm an honest guy. I
Yeah.
did tell him like it was so cool to see you made the jump. You're playing in the NFL, so go out there, be safe, and have a great season. Like I'm gonna
Dude,
root for the Bucks.
Tyler Algier literally looks like a freaking
Man,
middle linebacker, dude.
big old man.
Massive for a freaking.
Nice, really nice as well. Really nice guy. Who do you got? Let's move on though, because
NFC North. I have maybe a little surprise here. I've got the Pack Show, Green Bay Packers.
my buddy Hunter is gonna love that. Um, it's the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, dude, everyone for me for the divisions is kind of like, yeah, like whatever. I like the Pack.
I love the Packers. I think that they have a great team. I just think that they'll make the wild card. I just have the Lions because I think they have a chip on their shoulder, and I like Dan Campbell. I like
Oh
Dan
yeah,
Campbell.
dude, you can't handle the Lions at all. Also, on Sunday, we've got Matthew Stafford going back to Detroit again for Week 1. So
Give me
that's
the over.
ooh, I kind of like that. Maybe
Give me the over.
look into it, then tweet it out. Last one we got NFC East, man. People are gonna hate it, but Dylan Rosado, you're gonna love it. The Dallas Cowboys, baby. The Cowboys are winning the NFC East, dude.
Can you hear this? I feel like it's a problem.
No, you've been good on mute, so no,
Okay, can you hear the rain? That's my biggest question.
no.
Oh,
Honestly,
okay.
I had no clue it was raining. I can't
It
even.
is a torrential downpour. I'm coming to you live, and it is
Yeah, give us a weather report and
okay. I I will say this, just from looking in my backyard, the pond that the neighbors got, yeah, that thing is about to start flooding over. We've got about 2 mile per hour winds, and I'm in the middle of God's camera right now because it just keeps flashing and banging. But I'm having a great time podcasting in the rain, dude. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Football is back, baby.
So I will say, I think the Eagles are going to take a step down, and
I have
think
the Eagles, by the way.
okay. I just think I don't think the Cowboys are going to cowboy. They're going to win the division, get all this hype, and then just lose first round of playoffs. That's how it always is.
No. Plain and simple. I can't do it. I can't bring it to myself to do it. I think the Eagles just have too much talent. They added Saquon Barkley. I just,
Fair.
yeah. So, by the way, my picks are all parlayed in a $8 to win $4,619. I took every single one of those, my division winners that I think is going to win, and I put it in a parlay through it. It's a lottery ticket. You know what I mean? My biggest odds are my Buccaneers until the Dirty Birds or the whoever the Saints are. They're going to fire their coach.
They're terrible.
Panthers, a young, new, fresh coach. What is it? What is it's the Dirty Birds. It's
Dirty Birds, Panthers, Saints, Bucks.
yeah, but the Saints do some like who dat the who dat nation. Yeah, who dat take your ass back down to Bourbon Street and start drinking because your team's gonna suck. And then the Panthers, I feel bad for those kitty cats. They have a terrible owner. My Bucks plus 300, and that's the highest odds I got on the lottery. Yeah, the second highest odds. And then, like I said, $8 to win $4,600. I also have I put in a two MVPs of the league. I'll just add that. I put in CJ Stroud. I think he's going to have a big year. I would like to see him take off, especially with the addition of Stephon Diggs. I'd like to see them make a run in the AFC as well. And then your boy, comeback player of the year, baby, Aaron Rodgers, bro. Come on now.
A-Rod.
Give me a Jets and Lions Super Bowl. I think that would feed families.
I'd love that would feed me and my wife for a long time if the Jets win the Super Bowl. But so kind of long awaited. We've got one more thing we want to talk about. We got to give our Statesboro a recap.
Yes, we do.
Jump into Mount Rushmore, and then we'll be out of here.
Yeah, so, I kind of want to. I know we always do Mount Rushmore last, but I really, really, really want to save the boys in the borough for last. Is that okay?
That's fine. That's fine. So Mount Rushmore of football names. I'll start us off. Honorable mention goes out to Dick Butkus. classic of a name. Number 4, the coldest to ever do it, Crawford.
Fire.
Number 3, dude, Booger McFarland. Come on, great name. Number 2, TJ Hushmanzada. And
Love it.
number 1, a current cornerback for the Rice Owls, Mobility.
Is he a mobile quarterback? Do you know?
He's a corner.
Oh, I thought you said
No.
quarterback. Okay, no, corner.
CB.
Got to be mobile if he's going to be. That's awesome.
Yeah, MOH, Mobility, just how it sounds.
Oh, there's some rain coming in through the screen. We're good. We're fine. We do thick and thin because we're built. This podcast is built off grittiness and toughness. I'll tell you what. That's what it's built off of. Let me go through my Mount Rushmore. Honorable mention: Storm Duck.
Oh, that's a good one.
Great one. I mean, it's storming already, and then just Duck is awesome. Great Chicken of the Skies. I wish, as I like to say. Next, General Booty. Quarterback, I think he's at ULM right now. He transferred around and went to Oklahoma and transferred in. Next, DeBrickashaw Ferguson. He played for your Jets.
Yeah. Dude, that should have made my list. I completely forgot about him, dude.
And then these next two are homer ones. Martin Gramatica. He was the kicker for the Bucks 2002 Super Bowl win, and he was the guy that tore his ACL celebrating for the Arizona Cardinals back in the 90s. It was like a famous, like he jumped up and down and like tore his ACL.
Yeah.
My number 1, Florida State wide receiver Dakota Fagg with 2 G's.
Okay.
DE apostrophe CODYFAGG.
And that is his last name.
That is his last name. 100%.
We're not saying that in a derogatory term.
Not at all. I'm just saying his name.
I do. Georgia Southern fans are going to hate me, but I'm recapping my list. Honorable mention goes out to Dick Butkus. Honorable mention goes out to the coldest to ever do it. Number 4, Booger McFarland. Number 3, TJ Hushmanzada. Number 2, Mobility. My new number 1 is I completely forgot until now. Ironhead Gallen, former linebacker from Georgia Southern, played a little bit with the Arizona Cardinals, bounced around some practice squads, but Ironhead Gallen, dude.
I love it.
One of my favorite players in Georgia Southern history, dude.
That's a great name.
Dude, he was more of like a nickel, but just kind of filled in that middle linebacker role because he would knock your freaking head off, dude.
Dude, we got some great – you and I went totally different on the names, and I love it,
Yeah. So give me just kind of your first impressions of Statesboro. How did the weekend go for you?
It was hands down one of the best weekends I'd ever had in my life. The people of the borough are some of the nicest people I've ever met. Some of the most hospitable people I ever met. When you go there, it feels like a family. Great student body. People showed out for the game. People are very passionate about the Eagles. And then it's just like a fun little town, This was 7 years in the making, is what we kept telling people. Me and Josh met at a youth camp, like a church camp in North Carolina, 7 or 8 years ago now. 7 or 8 years ago.
7 years ago.
I was older. I was a year older than him. He was going into his senior year. I was going into college. And we just kept up with each other. And this is really the first time we had hung out in so long. Like, granted, over like social media.
7 years.
7 years. Like, we spent a week together, and we had a best time. And then as soon as you hit me with the bang, bang, bang on my hotel door, man, it's like we didn't even miss a beat, baby. We got in the truck. Went straight to Southern Exchange. Mm-hmm. Amazing. That's where I got the captain's hat, which so many compliments when I got home. Everyone loved it. I was at school today, and someone goes, "I love your hat." Great polo. But the people, great time. You gave a wonderful tour of the place. And just the overall aura of Statesboro is we're gonna be here. Yeah, we're gonna go to class, but we're gonna have fun, okay? And we're gonna root for our football team. And just the energy that I felt waking up, when I woke up and college game day was on the TV and we're sitting there and we're just around like your friends and family, and everyone just was so nice and it was awesome. Another part of it, I have to shout out Mr. Lenny. Mr. Lenny gave me, a college football fan, the greatest experience of my life. I got to see everything about Georgia Southern. I got a wonderful history lesson of Georgia Southern, and I understand why it is so important to grow this team and university, because you have such a well balanced history, with Coach Russell and just what he made and what he did, and seeing all of the accolades in the athletic building, seeing the players high fiving the players, and then just getting to the game, man, and seeing Freedom's Flight. It's something that on TV you really can't, you really can't, you see it and it's like, man, that's so cool. But man, when you're sitting there and a bald eagle just shows up right behind you,
Yeah.
bald eagle, man, you never feel more American. And man, I just can't say
Dude,
it. Thank
I,
you
I
and
remember,
to
of course.
you and to Mr. Lenny and to your entire family, and Uncle T and just everybody. I cannot wait to get back. Me and Josh are gonna be cooking up some. I might be going back this year. We're gonna try and figure some stuff out. But again, bro, the power of Paulson. We packed out Paulson. Yeah, we didn't get the result that we wanted, but we will, because
We
the
will.
Sun Belt runs through Georgia Southern, Statesboro.
Dude, so one last thing, we'll kind of dive into the game and all of that stuff and give a preview for Saturday. How was Freedom's Flight, man? I mean, me personally, just like as a fan, just like growing up, just going to Georgia Southern games and all that, dude. Freedom's Flight is one of the most electric things about Georgia Southern's game day. Like seeing an actual live bald eagle just fly from the top of the press box on down to the field, like, dude, it's electric. Like
It
it
was
really
it was it was amazing, and it's real awesome that you and I can kind of build back and forth, because you went to Georgia Southern. I spent time at Florida State. I grew up going to Florida State games. You spent up time going to Georgia Southern.
yeah.
Something about a live mascot. There's just something different about schools that have a live mascot that you
Yeah.
feel an aura and appreciation. I love Renegade and Chief Osceola, but watching Freedom's Flight as a, not only just as a football fan, but as an American, seeing a bald eagle just soar. Not, and it's not like a quick, like, oh, it flies straight to the field. No, it soars, it spreads its wings and flies, and it's just something that it's plus like 50,000 aura. And
Yeah.
that's what makes it so incredible. The stadium is awesome. The field is awesome. The energy is awesome. The people are awesome. And I cannot wait to get back. It might have been a million degrees, but I had such a fun time. And again, like I said, I cannot thank you and your family enough for letting me come and be a
Of
part of it,
course.
experience. And I have, man, just let you know how much I care. My whole family's got Georgia Southern stuff. My brother's got a Gata flag in his room. I went and
He
got my.
better have already hung up that flag.
Oh, he did. He did. Hey, it ain't left my wrist, baby. Ain't left.
Let's
Ain't left.
go.
Let's
Dude,
go.
we were sitting there and I looked at you and I was like, Cole, look behind you. And Freedom was right there. You're like, dude, holy shit. You
That
took
was
a picture. He's a guy's named Steve, I believe, that's kind of Freedom's handler. And you looked at everybody that we were with after you took a picture. You're like, this is the most American thing I've ever been a part of. I was like,
Well, I keep showing all of my friends and family and stuff, and I'm like, I've never felt more American. Like, how many people get to get? I got to pet a bald eagle. I got to take a picture with a bald eagle. You see the smile on my face, which I'm gonna. I've been waiting to post the pictures, because there's just so much. I've got to go through them and like
yeah,
just look at them, and it's been a crazy. Granted, it's been a crazy week. All right, Monday night was. I have not felt the happiness that I felt in like being there, and then with you, taking pictures, having a good time with you. I've not felt that happiness since I left. But man, the just everything about it is awesome, and I am all bought in. I cannot wait to see it grow. And I added them to my ESPN updates, so I get updates on Georgia Southern 24/7 now, dude. So man, I just can't thank you enough. And another
yeah,
thing, Georgia Southern fans, $1 a day. That's all you need to do,
Dollar a day,
and
man.
it'll
Dollar a
help.
day to the NIL collective. I mean, dude, every single penny helps. I mean,
The
that's really how like a school like Georgia Southern is going to be successful and try to make a push for the college football playoffs.
you
It's
gotta
it's I know like man, I'm not a wealthy individual myself at all, man. Like I mean, I just got married. We just bought a house, dude. Like
bro, I
I don't
work
have
at
a lot of money.
Publix, and I'm in school still, like,
Yeah.
but the thing is,
A dollar a day,
if
man.
you're
You
weary
can't tell
about
me you can't afford a dollar a day.
but what I see, and this is an outside. I was an outsider that was brought in, and I kind of got to meet, and I got to meet the president of the university. Remember that? I got to meet the
Yeah,
athletic.
dude, Dr. Marrero is such a class act. He really is, man.
The dollar a
Such a
day,
good dude.
the dollar a day will go so far because the people that are in charge of making sure that things go to the proper outlets and things do the proper thing, it is in good hands, and all they care about is making the school successful. That was for seeing where the school started, or where the football team had started to now. Everything counts, and the people that are in charge care so deeply about this university right here. It's very impactful. It is very impactful. So, man, uh, I can't say anything else except
It's
hail Southern.
I think you kinda hit the nail on the head, like, Chris Davis, Jared Benko, Dr. Marrero. It's just like people in charge of just the athletics and the university. It's like they care. And not only them, it's just like go in there for 5 years, 5 years in a summer class. But they let me walk before I finished school, but it's okay.
The players care
But
too, and the players know
yeah,
who
yeah,
cares
but
about
but
them.
it's not just the athletics and the football team, man. It's just Jared and Chris and Dr. Marrero, like they truly care about all sports. And not only that, man, it's just a lot of my teachers at Georgia Southern, dude, they freaking care about you. They care about your success, in the classroom. And they care about, the success that these athletes have on the field as well. Just one teacher that I want to shout out, one of the teacher that I had easily my favorite teacher in college is Dr. Kim, Dr. Jinwoo Kim. It's absolute stand-up guy, loves sports. He's a big tennis guy. So, he's always going to the tennis games, the soccer games, football games. Like every time in college I'd go to a sporting event, the guy was there. Either with his kids, with his wife. I mean, that's the thing about what I love about Georgia Southern and just like being a small university, man, is just like it starts up top and all of the staff at Georgia Southern, dude, you can just tell about how much they care about the university and everybody that's a part of it. But that being said, Ashton Genty is
Yeah,
a grown ass man.
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, broken.
Obviously, like we said, dude, the guy's got to be in the Heisman contention. Boise State's a good football team. You're getting a little dark over there, but
I know. Yeah.
we'll wrap
Real
it up.
quick,
We'll wrap it up.
I'm lurking. I'm lurking
Yeah.
because these Eagles are about to sneak up on the Wolfpack. So
So like we said earlier, it's yeah, man, it was tough. Play here, play there, whatever. If we get off to a hot start, it's going to be a big difference of the ball game. But defense needs to do a better job wrapping up. But a big thing for me is they need to do a better job of gang tackling. Getting all 11 hats to the ball is just so important at any level of football, including pee wee football. Getting the 11 hats to the ball is just such a big deal. But, like we said earlier when we were talking to Cooper, none of the mistakes that I saw, all the mistakes that I saw are fixable. None of them aren't fixable. And JC did a good job taking care of the football. We cramped a little bit. I wish we would have used Tyler Fromm a little bit more.
me too.
But I had a friend in the stands. So this is coming from nobody affiliated with Georgia Southern at all, other than he went to school there. But nobody on the staff said this. So he said he saw Tyler Fromm maybe stretching out a little bit on the sidelines, wondering if he was cramping. We don't know. It could have just been stretching. But I do know is he's ready for Nevada. on
Oh, the
Saturday.
team, the way the
So
team, and I think we'd gotten separated post game because we were trying to switch up the vibes and all
I,
that
I,
stuff.
I left, man.
Yeah, it's okay.
They scored that last touchdown, and I was just like, dude, we're not covering the spread. I'm out of here. But
I
we
mean,
ended up hitting a backdoor cover. So
we ended up backdoor covering. I was able to go on the field at the end of the game, and the players didn't hold their heads down. That was something that I wanted to tell you. They were like, yeah, yeah, we got punched in the mouth, but we're gonna wake up next week and go. And Coach Helton was walking off the field, and this was a cool moment. You didn't get to see it, but I looked at Coach Helton and I said, and he's with the two GSPs, and I went, hey coach, respond. And he gave me like a finger gun, like a point, and he was like, granted he's
yeah,
pissed. He's like,
cool.
and I told all the boys, I said, go respond, go respond. And it was so cool. And yeah,
And
I
we were talking about a lot about that after the football game. It's just, a big thing for me is what I want to see on Saturday is how do we come off of a tough loss against a tough football team, a good football team.
oh, you're gonna win the
How,
game. That's how you come on.
yeah, how do we respond? How do we respond? We have to smack Nevada in the mouth
You
on the
will.
opening kickoff.
Oh,
It,
you
it
will.
starts
No,
with the
that's the
opening
thing.
kickoff.
The playmakers are gonna make plays, and you got JC
Yeah,
French looked great.
it's good,
And
man.
you know what? I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna say it again. The Fun Belt runs through Statesboro. Wow, okay. Well, I could have used that light a little bit
Yeah, I
ago.
mean, JC, man, he played a good ball game. It did take him a minute to maybe settle in a little bit, yes. But his bad passes, of course, they were off target, but they weren't to the other team.
There was
He
that the touchdown throw was a dangerous throw, and
it was a
dangerous
dot though. It
from
was a
from
dot.
OC.
But
From
if you
OC.
remember that touchdown throw, he got rocked.
And what did he do?
Rocked.
Did he?
Stayed in the pocket, dime.
And then what did he? Got back up and celebrated with the boys. So
Exactly. Like, and it's just he didn't. Yeah, he missed a couple passes that probably should have been better throws. Yes, but the missed passes weren't in position for the defense to make a play on,
mhm.
which I loved because our bad passes last year, man, were okay. Here you go, right
you
in
ran
your.
you ran the football. You ran the football well, and you didn't get dominated in the
We
trenches.
we ran the football okay. I'd like to see us get the running game going a little bit more. But what people don't know is Boise State is probably has a top 5 defensive line in the group of 5.
Is that the guy? We did see a guy with my last name on
9.
that team.
Yeah, they're starting guard. They're starting guard.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that I
And
yeah.
I'd like to see us get the running game going a little bit more, but we can't judge it on, just one game against a perennial group of 5 school.
Mhm.
And we're going to see a lot more on Saturday. And looking ahead, let's get Tyler Fromm in the mix a little bit more. Let's get Jalen White going. Let's get OJ Arnold going. Let's take care of the football.
Man, all I know is I got way more excitement for the future of Statesboro than I do in Tallahassee right now. And I'll tell you one thing, we said it. If and when, because I saw what I saw, if and when Georgia Southern hosts the Sun Belt Championship,
Mhm.
I'll be there. I'm coming.
Dude,
I
I freaking hope so, man. It's been 10 years since we won one, first year in the Sun Belt. But Nevada looking ahead is a fast team. Now they had a tough loss against SMU, big win versus Troy. We don't know how good Troy is. We
I can
don't.
tell you, I don't think Troy's that good. I told you that at the start of the
Yeah,
season.
and so we'll see there, but I hope we win this game pretty handily. Seems like everybody gambling wise is taking Nevada, which is fine.
Good. Do
If
it. They took
um,
Boise State to cover too, and look what happened. Come
that's
on
true,
now.
that's true, that's true. But I do to kind of wrap up the Georgia Southern talk. I'm gonna politely say a couple of things. Georgia Southern fans, let's stop jumping to conclusions. People are already out there on Twitter and all this stuff. It's like, oh, Brandon Bailey needs to be fired already. Coach Shelton, it's going to be another 6-6 year, and we'll just lose the bowl game. Like, you're not going to get my money. And it's okay. When we prove you wrong, don't come crying to daddy over here saying now you want to donate. I'm going to pull up the freaking receipt and show you where you said that you're doubting everybody. And then what are you going to do after that? You're going to make $100,000 donation to the NIL clinic. That's what's going to happen. But politely to the fan base, have hope in your quarterback that's on the field. JC makes a couple bad throws, and they're already chanting for a backup to be put in. Now, I do think that our backups are good players. Not saying they aren't, but JC is a starter for the reason. Let's have hope in the talent that is on the field. Let's have faith in the talent that's on the field. Let's have faith in our head ball coach. Okay. And quite frankly, these people who are talking all this negative stuff aren't real fans.
You know what?
They're not true fans of the university. They don't really know football, quite frankly. And honestly, they aren't true fans of Georgia Southern. They don't know what talent we have on the field. And gonna say this in a nice way. Just shut your mouth. And if you want to keep on talking, that's fine. We'll prove you wrong.
Yeah,
That's
you know
all.
what they need to do? They need to go take their mounts and go sip on some Eagle Creek water. That's what they need to do.
Exactly.
Gritty and tough, and that's just how I feel. I know I'm getting a little dark over here, and I think
Yeah.
we're pushing on time. But again, I can't thank you enough. And if you haven't already, if you've never been to a game in Statesboro, you got to go. You have to go experience Freedom Slide. You got to go experience everything about it, because that is it is up there as one of the best college football experiences that I've ever been a part of. And I know the talent on this team. I saw it with my own eyes, and I'm a P5. I've been watching P5 football my entire life. I know them boys are going to push, and they're going to cook, and they're going to kill it. And I'm going to add it to my card, Georgia Southern outright. That's the first play of the weekend. I am adding it to my card, Georgia Southern money line.
Pick them,
Got
baby.
me. We're going. The boys are going to go. Boys are already out there, I'm sure, and they're getting ready, and they're going to go. They're going to go.
They're leaving tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. But to the group of 5 guys, it was nice. Matt Sprouse, thank you, homie.
Great
hanging out with him.
Gotta talk. Yeah, dude.
Love those guys too. We took a picture with them. I'm sure we'll get it.
Gotta talk, guys, and Taylor Henson, Matt Sprouts. It was good to see you.
It was a great weekend.
Southern fans, go check out Gotta Talk. So they strictly just do Georgia Southern football, a little bit of Sun Belt, with conference teams in there as well. And as always, check out the group of 5 guys. You gotta love it.
I don't think I got anything else. I'm ready to go watch some football. How about you?
Hey, let's go Chiefs, baby.
Let's go Chiefs. Book it. Let's go, baby. All right. I'll see you later, dog.
Yeah.
Deuces.